Hey everyone, let's build the Grimkeeper The Cage Monster by LEGO DREAMZzz. Set number 71455, contains 274 bricks, retails for $37.99, and this set was provided by the LEGO Group for early review, and that's essentially what we're going to be building there, especially for $37.99. So, yeah, another dark, gloomy build. I'm just going to be blunt with you. Bag 1, 2, and 3. So let me kind of get these situated here, and then we'll get started. We'll look at the manual first. And this is essentially what it is, and it's just like with all the other ones of these, they're solo builds. So it jumps right on into bag 1, which is where we're going to start. So let's build it. And I am not in the mood to do this set at all. I saw it. I was supposed to do it the other day, and I thought, well, I got to get some other stuff done. And, well, I just thought, well, I'm going to get my stuff done first, which is some of the LAN homework, and then I had to get, I got a tutorial approved, so I just need to finish up a building guide for it, and I got a bunch of other building guides, you know. And when you're watching this right now, I'm still working on the shark ship. In terms of, the videos are done, they're edited, just got to do the thumbnails, and they're boring. So just imagine that set was boring to put together, and then doing the thumbnails were just as bad. And he's essentially done. So, this will be another one of these ones I'm going to have to dread and bellyache through. And make it worse today, it's 117 outside. Yes, it is hot. And to make it even fun, I have a head cold. So that's a very good combination there. And I'm irritable, all that stuff. So this set's obviously not going to help with it. But we'll see if we can get this built here quickly, do the review on it as quickly as I can so I can do some other things. Kind of a weird piece there. And we need another one. So yeah, I hate having a head cold or a summer cold. I think it was probably due to me going out and cutting wood the other day, and I was taking frequent breaks, working in the shade, but I think it's the pollutants on the wood and stuff like that, like the mold spores, is what's kind of agitating everything and all that stuff. So, yeah, this is going to be one miserable summer, and this set here is not going to help out with it. Well, let's see how far we can get on it today. Matter of fact, this is a really quickie. This shouldn't take too long to complete. So I'm hoping to have this one done so I can fix me up a dinner. And yeah. And there goes the phone, well, the iPad. So we'll give this set a whirl and see how well the build goes, but it's just the colors that are kind of turning me off on this one here. I remember I said in a couple of installments, I said, oh, I wonder if Janet would like these sets. She goes, honestly, Jay, you're right, I wouldn't like it. I mean, I don't even like them too, but I have to put them together, you know. I just have to get them done. And let's see here, that fits flush up against these holders. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing I do enjoy is writing up my own building guides. Actually, I enjoy doing those a bit more than I like doing the video tutorials. And the reason being is I can always get better at them, and they're portable like this. You know, imagine carrying a videotape or a reel-to-reel thing versus doing like something like this. You know, than a little book. It's easier. I just need to, you know, get some stuff done, but I'd like to, hopefully, these are hollow studs. Hopefully I can get at least this done. This is my 7th out of 10 on these. I have one set that's coming in the mail next week for review. And I got to get going on that. When it gets here, I'm going to probably take a breather from these and do this other set. And I wish I could tell you guys and gals about it, but you'll have to wait. You know, you'll have to wait for it. And trust me, when you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. And it's different than what I normally would do. So, I can't tell you any more about it, but I can tell you this much. Yeah. I can't tell you anymore because I got to wait until it gets here. Okay, so far these are pretty. These have been okay for build quality. Well, some of these have been pretty good for build quality. I bet there's a mirror of this one here. And we'll just build it along with the book here. It's like I look at all these cool pieces and I'm like, oh, I can't even use these until after I'm done with the paperwork. So even when I get a set, I won't be able to do anything with it until like maybe probably 2 to 3 weeks later. Once I submit the paperwork to LEGO, then they go into the parts bin. So yeah, my hands are kind of achy and stuff. And this morning I woke up with an asthma attack. And I had to get a refill on my prescription. Which I'm hoping that they'll still do telemedicine calls because I really don't want to go. Okay, so this is a repeat. I really don't want to have to go down and wait in a waiting room with other people who are actually sick with something, and I don't want to bring that stuff back home or get it around my elderly parents and get them sick. I tell you, I like that telemedicine stuff, but my condition's a little different. I actually have to be there, and then I noticed on my thing I'm still due for that physical, which I'm kind of dreading on doing. You know, and insurance covers it, but I don't want to spend days and days and days or whatever doing all that stuff. And but I know I'm going to have to do it. I like to do that more in the fall. Yeah, so far, I'm just going to say it. This is kind of, it's kind of boring to put together. There's just not a whole lot of color with this set here. That's why you rarely ever see me build with white or with black parts. It's just they kind of make the build kind of boring. And a couple of these here. But the build quality on these was pretty good. So I'm assuming with all the other ones that I've done, this one here's not going to be an exception. Hopefully it's not. And it just doesn't flake apart while we're building it. So far it seems pretty sound. You really can't tell until you're done with it. And this set here does not have any stickers. But it did not come with the brick separator. I don't think it did. Let me take a look before I judge it. And no, for $37.99, you don't even get a brick separator. Yeah, well, without some of the tools, guess what I'll probably be doing? Dinging off a point. Yes, I got a whole entire tote full of them, but you know, I'm thinking of somebody who's sitting down for the first time building a set like this. And this is plates upon plates. This would be hard to pull apart without that tool. Now, if LEGO sold brick separators separately, they had them sold like in a big box store for maybe a couple of bucks, I'm sure it'd be fine, but that's the only other way to really get those things is through sets. You can buy them on their pick-a-brick, but they're expensive, so. No, I still have not got that pesky haircut yet. I gotta go to my guy. He's like, dude, you need to make an appointment. So I made an appointment, but it's not for to be another 10 days. So I just have to live with it. And he says, well, I can come out to your place and do it, you know, and still be the same price. But of course, if he came out here, I'd just give him a bit more for his time. I'm like, no, dude, save your coins, save your chips for something. You know, you're talking a 2-hour drive round trip. I said, I'll be in town that week. I'll come to you. And there we go. As he was telling me, he was thinking about doing the. Okay, I thought this was going to be a duplicate. No. But I have to tip my hat off. Oh yes, here's a new one now. I think all the actors went on strike along with the writers. And I'm like, you're serious, right? You get the rich people who I want more money. Well, I do too, but I'm not going to gouge people for it. You know, I work hard too, but you know, I'm not going to do that. And we have a nice little metallic finished off little lock piece. And so this goes right here. Okay, I was wondering how they attach this door in here. It's just attached like this. So this right here is the cage keeper. And then where does this piece go, huh? Or did that just float somewhere? Let's make sure here. Yeah, yesterday I did the unboxing, and I thought I wanted to do it, and I thought, well, I got other things to do. I had a tutorial that I wanted to finish up real quick, so this must go in this bag here, and that's what we have remaining. Okay, but I was just first the writers, and I don't know. I could check it out real quick, huh? While we're here, and let's see here. I can multitask. You know, that's what I've been trained to do. We got to build 2 of these, so probably won't see that for a while. And you're going to have to go through a bunch of stuff. I think there was only 1 minifigure with this set, so not too terribly bad. Let's see, actors on strike, because I haven't watched the news today. Poised to go on strike. Doesn't tell anything. Oh, here it is. Set the strike at midnight. Oh, they're still potentially going to strike. Oh, okay. So they're kind of thinking twice about their futures. And thank goodness my job's not a union-based. None of my staff is union. And one thing about being a boss and stuff like that is I have to keep up with that stuff too. Of course, if somebody has a concern, they can always come to me about it. You know, hey, we're not getting paid a lot. Okay, well, let's look into it here. Oh my goodness, you're right. I don't want to be one of those type of guys. Be like, oh, yeah, you weren't kidding. Everything is kind of gone up in price. I mean, even I know that. You know, going out and filling your car full of gas. I think the average in the States is like $3.50 or something a gallon, somewhere around there. And out here, it's like $6. We're paying double. I've been looking at electric vehicles. I mentioned this in a few other things, and I thought, all I got to do is string up a bunch of solar panels, and then I can just go in my car and enjoy it. What are we building here? It's like a thing with two horns. So we had all these medium pieces, and all I'm doing is fighting with little stuff that I could barely pick up with my big fingers. Like, I can't even pick this stuff up without sliding it off the table, like these little horn pieces. Like, I'm having a hard time grabbing these. This is meant for little fingers with long fingernails. And guys, especially for you guys up there, I've seen a lot of dudes out there with the really long fingernails doing this stuff. There's some in the electronics field that have these really grotesquely long nails that come out to about here. And these are men. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. Yes, I'd rather fight with picking stuff up. You know, I'm having a hard time grabbing onto these components here, but bricks. But all right, because we got to build 2 of these. Remember that. I thought these were little scarecrows, but there's something else. Yeah, I got to get back into watching The Walking Dead. Haven't had a chance to sit down and watch it. You know, I got to say, though, but I have been so busy with review offers, I'm going to have to start declining some of them. But some of them, I'll get like 10 sets in a lot. And there's only like 2 or 3 that I want. But I can't pick, you know. So it's like, do I really need that? Do I really want to do that? Do I want to be kind of greedy and just take that? I wish this program was around when I was a kid. Oh, we got the magical ear. We're going to have to snap that baby in, huh? All right, let's try it. Here we go. First, I got to get it on the right way here. Here we go. Oh, that was kind of quiet, huh? I must have did something wrong. It's supposed to snap. Listen for the click. That one's a little louder. Okay. So these are legs. Okay. And they show that these go in here. Doing the splits right now. Oh, step 45. Hey, I've got those arrows down pat now. I actually got a formula, a function for those. So that's essentially what that's supposed to look like right there. So we're getting there now. I got to make it humanoid, right? And let's take a look here. Is this a mirror or is this not? All right, so these are mirrors. What I'm going to go ahead and do, we're going to do these mirrors real quick. They're the feet that go on here. It's just easier to come in and do the mirrors. So just for my sake, this one on the left is always the one that I'm working from the manual. The one on the right is the one that's reflected. So it just speeds the build up a bit more. And yeah, I could have had this one done yesterday, but you know, that was just how it was. I may come in and do an unboxing after this one. The next one's only got about 400, 500 pieces, and I'm still doing that small, medium, large thing. But I just want to hurry up and get all these reviews done, because I really want to get back into, like right now I'm editing the what was that set? The Treehouse. I'm finally editing the Treehouse. I'm uploading the, Pegasus, Flying Horse. I'm uploading that one finally. Just the build. I'm just finally getting to proofing the Bunchu the Bunny set. So you can see I'm like all over the place. It's not friendly in any term of, can I get them done? It's a lot of work. I kid you not. And oh, there it is. Okay, sometimes finding the smaller piece or the bigger pieces is hard to find than the smaller ones, because you got so many of these small pieces just covering it up. Oh, that's an inverted one. Oh, wait a minute, we do need the inverted ones. No, we don't. So just be careful, you need the regular one, not the inverted brick with bow. Yeah, yesterday the pole was sitting at 85 degrees. Hopefully today it'll be a little warmer. That's too cold for me. And then we put one on the bottom here. I gotta have the water a little warmer than that. And yeah, so pretty much the set's pretty robust, but it's boring. I've had some YouTubers or viewers say, man, I appreciate your honesty on these. A lot of people just kind of sugarcoat stuff that's given to them. Unless it's given to me as a gift, I mean, I'll still review it, but their intent to give this to me is to show it and review it for you. So that's what I am. I'm reviewing. I'm not I'm not going to censor stuff. Matter of fact, I'm just going to be also honest with you too on this. There's a lot of these little pieces you're going to have to put on. And if you're like me and you're not a fan of these type of parts, or you just don't really use them in your builds, these are kind of useless for terms of building city stuff. Clinkety clink of the pipes again. I gotta get up in the attic and tighten those down, or actually loosen them up. Almost fell on the floor there. I caught you. Okay. So this one here is done, and it goes here. Doesn't have the ear, huh? But that makes a snapping noise, and this one obviously goes here. There we go. See if we can kind of get him here to flex a little bit. And then that's it. Still not quite sturdy enough to stand up on, huh? There we go. Now remember, we already did the other foot, so I can skip that. I'm just checking my work. And then we got to build 2 of these here. Lay that down because I don't want that taking a torso plant. It's like 100 and something outside and somebody's actually mowing their grass. I'd be doing that in the evening. I wouldn't be doing that now. This guy's like twice my age. It's like in the 60s or 70s. And he's out there just mowing his grass. I mean, I'm a native desert dweller, but still, it's just too hot for me. Too hot to be outside. Okay, we got the magical ear appearing again. In fact, I should put my ear in there with the same symbol and just have the piercing on there too. I feel kind of discriminated because they don't have that in there. Okay, ready? Oh, that was kind of quiet. I don't care much for these. These are like Bionicle parts more than anything else. Dan would probably really enjoy this set here. Oh, well, I got these backwards. Let's pop that out of there. Wait a minute, why am I doing that? Why don't I just put that back in there and rotate it around? There we go. That's like something doesn't look right. And so bag 1 did the torso and the cage trap thing, and then bag 2 does the limbs. And there we go. That's what it should look like right there. His limbs. Oh, then step 65, you got to fold them down. So I'm going to push them in all the way first. All right. You know what? Let's put the nice part on. Let's put this nice round part right here. Facing towards us. I don't want that ugly side. So I'm going to rotate it around. And then just hinge this back around like that. There you go. That's much better, huh? There we go. And we still got plenty of parts in here, so I know he's going to need hands. So we're going to have to do probably mirrors. Let's make sure these are the same hands. And they're not, this is not a pretty build, honestly. It's kind of wicked looking. And a bad turn, a bad thing. All right, well, let's get going here. We got to do mirrors. Now, when I do my building guides, I don't do mirrors. I do what they do here and have you build separate steps. All right? The reason being is not everybody can do this. Sometimes even I get confused. So that's why you never see my building guides ever like that. Now, I had somebody did request they'd like to see a sample of my building guides before they purchase. Like, can they see a sample of my work? And yeah, my Rebrickable and even my Patreon does have 1 or 2 guides that you can sample. They're full builds just like this stuff. It's not a portion of a manual, it's a full build manual. And you can take a look at those. The quality really is the same. I've gotten better though. And here's a little hint. For every 50,000 subscribers on the main channel, I release 1 building guide for free. but act fast because I have some marked already for Rebreakable. So your build may be free or your build may be paid, you know. And that's how I'm doing it. So once it's a premium. But I'm still getting requests though about why don't I have certain builds on there for purchase. It's just time. Writing all that up and getting it done takes a few hours. Then you have to get the admin to approve of it for sale. So it could take anywhere from a few hours to several days to get it done. So it's not something that you can get done quickly. And we're talking about, that's including doing the graphics stuff and writing up the description. I've seen some guys on Rebreakable though, they'll advertise it as a mock. And they say, hey, you could buy this building guide for $20. And I'm looking at it thinking, $20 for this. And I've been noticing I've underpriced a lot of my builds. But some guys are trying to make an income out of this. This is just something passive for me. And I really don't want to do all that. Okay, let's put the little thumbs on first, so I don't get confused here. And then the fingers. Do you think they would have added another finger to go in the middle of that? It's kind of creepy, but it looks like you can grab onto something though. Maybe he's supposed to grab onto the kids who throw the studs all over the floor, put them inside the cage for a timeout. You know, I think that's what he's supposed to do. Alrighty. You know, I see a brick separator on the floor. That could have went with it, but it wasn't in any of the piles. I do count the brick separator as a part of the parts count. Jay, does your builds come with a brick separator like your building guides? No. Because I don't provide parts with mine. And that's essentially what these look like right here. Now, it feels like I'm going to break these. When you'll rotate them, just do them by the joints. There you go. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to stick with this a little bit more. We already got that hand done. It's the same thing. Then we got to put some shoulder guards on him to protect him, make sure he doesn't injure his little shoulders. Yes, to hide those things and stuff. This is like a dark gray, like a metallic black. I can get a couple of these pieces in regular brick form. They make great parts for barbecues. Yeah, this is a lot of Bionicle stuff, so Dan will probably like go bonkers over this one here. Like, it's like, woohoo, I could do this. And I didn't know you watched that Lego show, the Dream stuff. And especially for young builders out there, there's a lot of us older guys who, and gals who watch cartoons. Why? Some of us don't want to turn on the TV and watch reality or news shows. There's plenty of that. Well, now with the writer's strike going on, I'm thinking, man, I may go down and purchase a few Blu-rays that I haven't seen before. Okay. And these go right up here. Making sure you can see what I'm doing. So I check the viewfinder so often here, just to be sure. This looks further apart than mine, but I think it's the angle. Oh, be careful with these. These are really flexible. I'm afraid I'm going to break them. It's like a soft rubbery plastic. And that's what it's supposed to look like right there. Maybe that's the hair. We haven't gotten to the face yet. Well, speaking of that, that's what's next. Yeah, I need a 2x2 plate. Yeah, I'm still kind of plowing through all this stuff, but I found out my weakest spot on doing videos is not the editing. Okay, I've got it down pat. The one thing that's killing me right now on these is the thumbnails. I do not have a green screen that I can put in here for that yet. I need to buy a piece of nice bright green fabric and just set up my thing for it and just take a nice snapshot of this stuff and then just do a green screen on this. It would be a lot easier. Because this is white on white, and if I try doing it with the white color as a sample, it just does not work very well. These are nice decorative pieces. They were good for a headboard, but they're the wrong color. Oh, wait. Hold on. Those are not supposed to go there. All right. I wasn't paying attention. That's my fault. They're supposed to go on like this with these holders here. Jay, you don't censor that? No, I want you to see the boo-boos I make. Okay, now they go like this. So I guess they were trying to do a clearance thing on it. And you just rotate those back in. That's how it's supposed to look. Okay. And then we got the head that drops in there. Just snaps in there. Put it on the right way. There we go. This was like a dark color. This would look like something from Predator. Well, if I can get it on there. More dark colors, cool. Yeah, I'm almost done. I just hold off with the belly aching a bit more. And then reviewing this shouldn't be too bad. I like to do the builds and I like to do if it's a multi-build, but I like to finish up the builds and do the reviews in the same day. Because if I don't, I have to come back in and rewatch these so I can know what my notes are. But I notice there's somebody in here watching the full length of these videos too. I appreciate that. There's your teeth. And then this goes here. Well, that doesn't look too friendly, does it? Especially with the jaw that opens up. Yeah, it looks like Predator, albino version. And then this should go on here now. No ear thing. How do I propose to put this on here? I think I'm going to put my finger right here to give it some support. And I'm just going to, I'm going to hold it like this and snap that in there. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this ugly stuff. And we're not done with that yet. Let me pull this up so you can see a little bit more. But that's what he looks like right there. He's all hunched over and just kind of creepy looking. Let me see if I can give him a little bit more. There we go. So he's not so hunched over. And, oh, I got to be careful. I don't want this to take a face plant and I have to figure it out. We'll save that for the review. I'm trying to get his feet lined up here. There we go. You just have to kind of wiggle him around a little bit. We've seen this lantern thing on the shark ship. That's what it kind of looks like. I think that's what it is. And I am missing a part. Oh, no, I'm not. Here it is, right here. How silly of me. No, this is not quite a lantern here. And I'm sorry if I pull it away from the camera. Yeah, and for those, which I got to put on here, on one of my disclaimers, it may sound whiny. My voice sounds kind of whiny because I'm like I'm getting a head cold again. So I think that's where those go. That's where they go. And this goes on here. So if you need a light somewhere, and I think this is supposed to be some kind of a light. So if you say I need a lantern in this corner, it'll just fly up in that area and light up the way for you. Well, maybe not. It's got a holder on it. And then it shows that it goes underneath his hand here. There's holders right in there, so you can put these in there. So this is meant for accessories. So there you go. And we'll close up the fingers here, so it looks like he's holding on to... I'm sorry, but this thing is creepy looking and just ugly. Oh! Then we throw him inside the cage because he left all the bricks out on the floor. How does he fit in there? Just sits in there? So it is scale for figures. And you just lock them up. And that is it. All right, let's proceed on with bag 3, and this is the last we have to do. So you do get 2 storylines here. Now I'm always going to pick the blue to kind of keep everything consistent. So we're not done yet. We got a minifigure to put together. I thought it was just one figure with this set. No, we got to do 2 of them. Okay. And okay. Sure I get the belt on right. And see their explosive view right here with all the arrows? I've been doing that a lot with my stuff lately. It saves it a lot better instead of doing like 5 pages worth of stuff. So he's done. Now we just got to build his... and Dan, I think, pointed out, I can't see it, but he says this is a pencil because he watches the animation. So obviously I'll take his word for it because I don't know anything on this stuff. So if this is a pencil, then my goodness, I've never seen a pencil like this before. Maybe it's one of those slimline mechanical pencils. What am I saying? I haven't used a pencil in years. I've been doing everything on the computer now. Last time I really used especially a number 2 pencil, was back in college, well over, about 10, 12 years ago. Maybe longer than that, I don't even know. See this insert, that's how I do mine there. So, I've been really with the building guides. If you've ever used one of Lego's building guides, that's what mine look like. It's near to Lego's quality of building guides. I want to make sure that you can follow along the build. And that's essentially what we have here. No, we're not done with him yet. We got to put an hourglass in his hand. All right. There we go. And that's it. So the set does have 2 minifigures. So if he needs to escape this guy, and if that is a pencil, he's gonna, what is he gonna do? Write him an S. Give him the pencil. Give the Grimkeeper a pencil and say, here, write a 1,000-word essay of why you should not be capturing kids who throw studs on the floor. I don't know. Or who don't go to bed on time. I don't know. And yes, I do see some stud launchers here, so parents be prepared on those. You will have to pick those up. This is a little change of pace here. This is the only part that looks like it's bright. Well, it was until we start putting these on here. I'm not the only person that hates stud launchers. And of course it has a little symbol that shows you not to poke people's eyes out with these. And you do get some transparent light green bricks and stuff. In fact, I want to go and play some Minecraft. Reminds me of slime blocks. So, despite of the set being kind of gloomy and stuff, and I've been kind of thinking about, should I really ding off points for it being dark and gloomy? That's a personal preference. Well, here's the deal. The set is not a collaborative build. It means a family cannot put this thing together. And it didn't come with the brick separator, but the build is really strong, and it's meant to be played with, so it is a playable model. So you get to the point, do I ding off points for personal preference? Not so much. It doesn't weigh heavy. If this was a collaborative build and the color scheme is just horrific, yeah, it's going to get a high score. It's just how it is with me. All right, in this, I'll put it on here and show you. This thing is printed. Look at this. This tile right here. That would be perfect for like an aircraft or something, or maybe a air traffic control tower. So that right there is a good piece. I was looking at that thinking, I may have to hoard up a few more of those. And it'd be kind of cool to grab that. I also get some of these little pieces too, look like gems. This is a nice fun summer color right here. Okay, we got Z-Blob to the rescue. Yes, it does matter. He's got 2 eyes on that. And it tells you to load them up, which I'm not. And the rest of this stuff is strictly for that. When I do the tour of this, it doesn't show what's his name sitting in here. Did it show at the beginning? Yeah. With no handlebars. Or did I forget to put them in? Take a look here. Shows it. Looks like he's got handlebars on that. No. He just sits there. I thought it looked like it had handlebars, but he doesn't. Alright, so he's supposed to sit on this. Now, when I do the review, I'm not even going to bother with it. I'll show a demonstration. I'm not going to do it now. And this is essentially what we have remaining for the remainder parts if you want to do the green mission. And that's it. We are done with the build. Now, let's go in for a nice quick tour of this. And I think honestly though, I'm just trying to set these up in such a way that when I do it, he doesn't fall down or whatever. And trying to get him to look more natural. And there you go. Got yourself a little stud flying machine. That's Mateo. I'm memorizing his name. Let me make sure here. That's the bunny set. I got too many boxes in here. Yeah, that's Mateo, and the blonde kid is Cooper. Blonde kid. What am I saying? I mean, come on. I was that color blonde before. So basically you get 2 minifigures, this flying thing, and the Grimkeeper. And basically, the cage monster, what he does is that he'll grab you with his claw and he'll throw you in there. So I can get the figure out and I can put the minifigure back in. Okay. You wouldn't want to press them up against the stud, just kind of leave them in there floating. And if we had studs in here, you can knock him down or something like that. So essentially, this is more like an action figure than anything else, but it is a complete build. Okay, so it is playable and stuff. So we're going to jump right on into the review here with playability. And yes, despite this thing being ugly, it is playable. So you can go pew, 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 knock that lock loose, and Cooper can come flying out, and you got Mateo here who will come to the rescue. And after he's done freeing him, he can take the pencil and make him write an essay. So it is playable. Build quality is pretty good. Didn't have anything fall off, and everything is just built really well. It's strong. So yeah, I'd say the build quality on this is above average, just flat out above average. Build experience, and I'm going to be honest, this was dry. I think it's the colors. That's just, for me, it was a kind of a dry, dull build. It was just something I had to get done. So if you're really into this thing, I'm sure it'll be fun. But for myself, it was just kind of a dull, boring build. But as you can tell by the outcome, it looks pretty good. Lots of detail. As far as for city drop-in value, you really can't do it. There's a good pieces in here for mocks, if you're mostly into blacks and dark grays. But that's it. Some of these could be used for mocks and stuff like that. No collaborative play. This is basically a solo build, sadly. So bag 1 does Cooper and the torso on this thing. Bag 2 does all the limbs and the head. Bag 3 does this alternative mission with Mateo. So there's no collaborative build. This is a solo build. And that's pretty much about it for the rough review on this. And for my final score on this set, I'd say it's a 9. Despite it was boring, but I'm going after one thing, and that's a brick separator, and there's 2 things, a brick separator and collaborative building. This is just something that you just give a child, say, here, build this. Get them out of your hair. There's really no collaboration with this, which is kind of sad. I was hoping maybe this was broken down where you can do it. But other than that, it's just meant to be a solo build. Now, for the retail price of $37.99, you get 2 minifigures, some flying thing, and the Grimkeeper. And honestly, for 274 bricks, that's overpriced. So I'm going to flat out say it, this was not worth it, you know. I'm looking at this, maybe $25, maybe $30 at the very most, but $37.99, that's $38, essentially. No, that's just bonkers. I mean, but I have to take into account for this is that everything is printed. Okay, this is printed, and this little dashboard thing's printed. And it's still overpriced. That's why I'm saying about $30. But $38 is a little too much for just, you know, basically you get 4 pieces here. But you get him out of there. You just have to wiggle him out. For the most part, though, it is a nice set if you're into this theme. But tell me what you think of the set. I mean, it looks cool, but it was just a building experience that did it for me.